Welcome to Sleepy in Art. Let us turn back the clock, drifting back through the years to a world that moved much slower than our own. Let the heavy curtain of the present day fall away. Imagine the constant hum of our modern lives, the glowing screens, the distant traffic, the endless stream of information beginning to dissolve. These things simply fade into mist. They are evaporating, leaving behind a silence that is wide and deep and soft. We are drifting backward, decade by decade, century by century. We float past the noise of the industrial age, past the roar of engines, past the click of the telegraph, settling deeper into the past. We are traveling to a time when the night was truly dark, lit only by the silver of the moon or the warm, flickering dance of a tallow candle. A time when the day was ruled entirely by the sun. When the sun rose, work began. When the sun set, the world went to rest. It is the mid-17th century. The year is roughly 1665. Here, in this time, there is no urgency. News travels at the speed of a horse's trot or a ship's sail. A letter sent to a friend might take weeks to arrive, and so, waiting is not a source of anxiety, but a natural rhythm of life. There is patience here, a patience that has seeped into the very stones of the streets and the wood of the floorboards. The air here feels different. It is free of the metallic tang of machinery. Instead, it is heavy with the scent of the earth, the salt of the sea, and the smoke of peat fires burning low in the hearth. It is a world of textures, rough wool, cool linen, cold iron, and polished wood. In this era, silence is not empty. It is a presence. It wraps around the houses like a blanket. Without the mechanical drone that we are so used to, the sounds that remain are distinct and precious. The scratching of a quill on paper, the soft sweep of a broom on tile, the distant, rhythmic chime of a church bell marking the hour, not to rush anyone, but simply to acknowledge the passing of the day. We are arriving now. We are lowering ourselves gently down into the lowlands of northern Europe. The sky above is vast, a grand theater of clouds, cumulus giants drifting lazily in from the North Sea. This is the Dutch Republic, and we are coming to rest in the city of Delft. It is a place of order, a place of water and brick. As we settle into this timeline, we find that the frantic pace of the future has been replaced by a slow, steady pulse. Thump, thump, like a heartbeat. It is a world where a single moment can be frozen in time, held still, and appreciated for its simple, quiet beauty. We find ourselves standing on the edge of a canal in the city of Delft. It is early morning, and the mist is just beginning to lift off the water. The water in the canal is dark and glassy, acting like a perfect mirror for the world above it. It reflects the brick facades of the houses, tall, narrow houses with stepped gables that climb toward the sky like staircases. The water barely moves. It only ripples softly when a duck paddles by, or when a leaf drifts down from the elm trees that line the quay. There is a smell here of damp stone and fresh water, mixed with the faint, comforting scent of baking bread from a nearby oven. The streets are paved with cobblestones, worn smooth by generations of footsteps. Everything in Delft feels scrubbed and clean. The Dutch take immense pride in their homes, and even the streets seem to have been swept this morning. There's a sense of domestic holiness here. The simple act of cleaning, of maintaining order, is treated with reverence. To walk through Delft in this year is to walk through a painting. The light here is unique. It is the famous Dutch light. Filtered through the moisture in the air, it becomes soft and diffuse. It does not glare. It embraces. It wraps around corners and glows on the red bricks and the white mortar. The city is quiet, but it is not asleep. It is the hum of a hive at peace. Down the canal, a barge moves slowly, laden with goods from the East Indies, perhaps spices, or porcelain, or silks. The boatman guides it silently with a long pole, the water lapping gently against the wooden hull. Slosh, slosh. On the street, known as the Oud Delft, the Old Delft, the lime trees cast dappled shadows on the path. The leaves rustle in a gentle breeze coming off the sea. It is a sound like a long, slow exhale. Shh. People move with purpose, but without haste. A woman in a starch-white cap walks by, carrying a wicker basket. Her shoes make a soft clack-clack on the stones. She passes a merchant, leaning in his doorway, smoking a clay pipe. The smoke curls up, blue and thin, disappearing into the gray-white sky. They nod to each other. No words are needed. There is a safety in this solitude, a comfort in the shared quiet of the neighborhood. The massive tower of the Nieuwe Kerk, the new church, stands sentinel over the market square. Its bells begin to ring. Bong, bong. The sound is deep and resonant, vibrating through the chest, rolling over the tiled rooftops and across the flat green fields beyond the city walls. It is a sound that has marked time for centuries, a deep, bronze voice that says, "All is well. The day is moving as it should." The light shifts as the clouds move. One moment, the street is in cool shadow. The next, a beam of pale yellow sunlight breaks through, illuminating a patch of moss on a wall, or making the wet cobblestones shine like silver coins. It is a game of hide and seek, played by the sun. This is the world Johannes Vermeer sees every day. He does not need to travel to distant lands to find beauty. He finds it here, in the reflection of a window in the canal, in the texture of a brick wall, in the quiet dignity of his own hometown. It is a world that feels contained, safe, and infinitely detailed. We leave the canal side now. We turn toward the market square and approach a specific house. It is a sturdy building, respectable and solid. We move towards the door, but we drift through it like a soft breeze, entering the private sanctuary of the artist's home. Inside, the air is still and cool. The floor is tiled in black and white marble squares, a geometric pattern that stretches down the hallway. The house smells of wax polish and old timber. There is a hush here, a buffer against the world outside. We climb a narrow, creaking wooden staircase. Creak, step, creak, step. We are heading to the upper floor, to the rooms at the front of the house. This is the domain of the painter. We enter the studio. It is not a large room, but it feels spacious because of the light. The room is dominated by the windows on the left wall. In Vermeer's world, the light always comes from the left. It pours in through the leaded glass panes, cool and steady. It is the north light, the painter's favorite light because it does not change with the passing hours of the sun. It remains constant, truthful, revealing the world exactly as it is. The room is sparse. It is not cluttered. There is an obsession with placement here. A heavy oak table stands near the window. On it, a Turkish carpet is draped, its intricate red and blue patterns glowing in the soft illumination. The wool of the carpet looks so real, so thick, you feel you could reach out and brush the nap with your fingertips. In the corner, there is an easel. It is made of dark, heavy wood, stained with the splashes of past masterpieces. The air in this room smells distinct. It is the scent of the craft. There is the sharp, pine-like smell of turpentine, the rich, nutty aroma of linseed oil, the earthy, metallic tang of pigments ground by hand, lead white, yellow ochre, lapis lazuli, that precious blue stone, ground down to make ultramarine. It is the color of the deep ocean, the color of the virgin's robe, the most expensive pigment in the world. And here it sits, a small pile of blue dust, waiting to become light. Dust motes dance in the shaft of light, coming from the window. They swirl in slow motion, turning gold as they pass through the beam. The room is silent, save for the settling of the house. There is a stool placed before the easel. The seat is polished from years of use. This is where he sits, the observer, the quiet man. He is not a painter who slashes at the canvas with fury. He is a painter of stillness. He sits for hours, just watching how the light falls on a pearl, or how a shadow caresses the curve of a cheek. He creates a vacuum of silence in this room, a space where time stops. On the easel, a canvas is stretched tight. It is primed, a pale, creamy gray surface waiting to receive the image. The brushes are waiting, clean and aligned. The palette is set. The atmosphere is one of anticipation, but a calm anticipation, like the moment before a conductor lifts his baton, or the moment before a drop of rain falls from a leaf. We are here to witness the creation of a moment, not a grand battle, not a mythological drama, but a glance, a single, fleeting glance that will last forever. The light from the window hits the empty space in the center of the room. This is the stage, and soon, someone will step into that light. A girl. She will turn her head, and the master of quiet light will be there to catch it. Let us settle into this corner of the room, in the shadows, and watch. She steps into the light, quiet as a shadow. She takes her place, not in the center of the room, but in the path of that cool, northern illumination. She turns, just so. In the studio, time seems to suspend itself. There is no sound, only the faint, rhythmic breathing of two people in a room, and the soft friction of a brush against canvas. The painter dips his brush, careful, precise. He is not just mixing colors, he is mixing light, He takes the blue dust, the crushed lapis lazuli, brought from mines far across the mountains and seas. He mixes it with the oil, turning the stone into liquid, a deep, rich ultramarine. With a gentle hand, he lays the blue upon the canvas. It becomes the turban, wrapping around her head, soft, heavy cloth, holding the coolness of the shadows. Then, the yellow, a bright, lead tin yellow, the color of morning sunlight, the color of a lemon rind. He paints the jacket, the fabric catching the light, warm and golden against the dark background. The hours pass, uncounted. The sun moves across the sky outside, shifting the shadows on the church tower. But in here, the light remains steady. He looks, and he paints. He looks, and he paints. And then, the pearl. It is barely a thing of paint at all. It is a trick of the eye, just a smudge of gray, a shadow of white. And then, with the smallest brush, the finest tip, he adds 2 tiny dots of white lead, one dot at the top, reflecting the window, capturing the cool daylight, one dot at the bottom, reflecting the white collar she wears. With those 2 specks of white, the pearl becomes heavy. It becomes round. It becomes real. It hangs there, suspended in the darkness, shimmering in the quiet air. She looks back at him. Her eyes are wide, dark, liquid. Her lips part slightly, as if she's about to speak, or has just finished speaking. But no words come. The silence is too perfect to break. The painting is finished. The moment is captured. The painter sets down his palette. He cleans his brush, swishing it gently in the turpentine, the smell sharp and clean in the evening air. Outside, the day is ending. The light in the window begins to fade, turning from a bright white to a soft, dusky blue. The work is done. The girl wraps her shawl around her shoulders and steps out of the light, returning to the shadows of the house. The studio settles into the evening. The easel stands tall in the dimness, holding the face that will never age, the gaze that will never look away. The house in Delft grows quiet, wrapping itself in the comfort of the coming night. Everything is in its place. Everything is still. And now, the history fades. The names, the dates, the city streets, they all begin to soften, losing their edges, dissolving into the mist of time. We remain only with the feeling of that quiet room. Imagine yourself drifting there, in that space between the light and the dark. The world of the painting surrounds you now, a world of perfect stillness. The pearl hangs in the silence, a moon in the night sky, heavy, smooth, cool. It does not move. It does not swing. It simply is, resting in the quiet, the blue of the turban, deep and calm, like the ocean at midnight, the yellow of the coat, warm and soft, like a candle flame that does not flicker. The black background, a velvet curtain of sleep, protecting you, holding you. You are safe in this stillness. The dust motes settle on the floorboards, one by one, coming to rest. The oil dries on the canvas, slowly, hardening, sealing the piece forever. The light from the window, has turned to twilight, and the twilight turns to dusk. Listen to the silence of the house. The walls are thick, keeping the world away. The floors are solid, holding you up. The air is still. Nothing needs to be done here. Nothing needs to be said. The canal water outside flows slowly, drifting past the bricks, drifting past the sleeping boats. The water is dark and deep and slow, just like you're breathing. Deep and slow, deep and slow. The eyes in the painting are at peace with the silence, a gaze that is kind, a gaze that understands the quiet. She rests within the shade. She rests within the time, eternal, peaceful, calm. Let the colors wrap around you, the calming blue, the warming yellow, the quiet black, drifting deeper into the canvas of the night, floating on the stream of time. The studio is dark now. The brush is dry. The colors are sleeping. The world of Delft has faded away. There's only you, and the dark, and the comfort of rest. Heavy eyelids, closing, breath lengthening, sinking down into the softness. The light is gone. The peace remains. Drifting, drifting. Good night.